Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show, Friday, July the 2nd. Ian Cameron and Conor Mack with you. We are ready to break down this Friday MLB card. Looking forward to it. Lots of great games today that I found were pretty good from a betting perspective. So hoping for a good, it was my best baseball day by far in like almost a month yesterday. It's been such a struggle. It's been such a grind. And thankfully today we busted out with a huge day on the baseball board yesterday. So hopefully that can keep on rolling into tonight. We welcome everybody into the chat, joining us here on the show. Let's get to it here. Friday baseball action. We'll start with the San Diego Padres taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. We've got Chris Paddock on the mound for the Padres, and we got Zach Wheeler in the sky, keeps on turning. He'll be on the mound for the Phillies here. Philadelphia minus 120, home favorites. The total in this one around the 7.5 range. The Padres last night getting walked off by the Cincinnati Reds. A really thrilling game. They took the lead late. The Reds end up getting a Winker home run to tie the game, or Farmer, I should say, tied the game with the home run, Kyle Farmer. And then, of course, Tyler Stevenson, the rookie, with the walk-off hit to give the Reds the win last night, a thrilling win in that one for Cincinnati. And now you've got Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler's been great. He really has. He's been a model of consistency for the Phillies this year. His home ERA has been terrific. And on the flip side, Paddock's pitched better this year, but still on the road can be a little bit sketchy at times. You've got San Diego traveling in from Cincy last night, where they played a game that went into the late night. I'm looking at this as a situation where I think Philly, it's kind of telling that they're favored here, even though they have the much worse record. And I think that's kind of an indication they might be the side to look at here. So if I were to bet this one, I'd look Philly's first 5 in full game. I certainly like Wheeler's form. And obviously the Padres probably the better top to bottom lineup, top to bottom team. But right now, Wheeler's form is so good, I'm not interested going against it. So if I were to bet it, it'd be Philly's first 5 full game split for me. What do you think here, Conor Mack, San Diego, Philly?
Yeah, looking at this one, I'm not big on Paddock, as I said in the past, and he's on the road here. I think you're getting a little deal with Zach Wheeler at home. I love the price. Paddock's been good his last 2. He's only gave up a couple runs, two earned in each of those starts. But Wheeler's been so good at home. You can't go away from that. I like it first 5. I think this might be a sneaky over. There's good numbers. Realmuto, Harper, Segura, 3 for 6, 3 for 5 with a homer. And there's pretty good numbers, the Padres against Wheeler. Hosmer, Pham, he's 4 for 5 with a homer, Tommy Pham. It's a Jack of the Day guy who's getting healthier lately and hitting the ball better, Tommy Pham. So, but it's up to an 8. If this was a 7.5, I thought that over might have been sneaky here. But yeah, I like the Phillies here, kind of a short home price. Wheeler's been nothing but dominant, especially at home all year long. So I'd look at the Phillies. And yeah, one thing, the Phillies bullpen has not been good. So I'd cut it out. I'd go first 5 here with the Phillies. And even if you want to go bold, a half a run with them to get plus money.
Yeah, the song obviously is "Wheel in the Sky" by Journey. It's a great song. That's a great band, actually. I actually saw them perform a long time ago, many years ago.
With not with Steve Perry though, with the
guy Ariel. What's his name? The Filipino guy that sounds just like Steve Perry. Like him. Unbelievable. I mean, he just like totally nailed Steve Perry's sound and voice and style. It was remarkable. I mean, you would have closed your eyes and listened to that concert when I was there that night. You thought it was Steve Perry doing the lead singing. Seriously, I mean, that's how good he was. Pineda, that's it. Yeah, Ariel Pineda. I mean, absolutely outstanding. Though they had a good hits. They were one of my bands that I liked from that era, 70s, 80s. So, yeah, Wheeler in the Sky. I like doing that. Karaoke, when there's a last name that fits from I throw in a little karaoke. It's always fun to do that for sure. All right, next game up on the slate here, we've got the Dodgers and the Nationals here. In this one, we've got Julio Urias taking on Max Scherzer. In this one, Dodgers slight road favorites in this game currently. I'd probably come back to Washington a little bit here in this game if I were to bet it. I know last night got away from Patrick Corbin. We know that's sometimes my one loss, I think, last night was Washington. It was Washington. That was the one that got me last night. But nevertheless, Corbin is obviously what he is. He's hit or miss. You obviously have Max Scherzer on the mound, who you trust a little bit more. And Urias, I'm telling you what, in this situation here, Washington does hit lefties decently. I think you could see them have some success here against him in this game tonight. And let's be honest, before last night's loss, Washington was playing some pretty good ball going into this series. And I know they lost the opener last night, but I think they got the chance to bounce back here. I'd be looking at a split here between the first 5 and the full game on the Washington Nationals here as slight home underdogs in this game. What do you think, Conor? Dodgers and Nationals?
Yeah, I like that the lines moved to the Dodgers. Maybe Max Scherzer at a plus price at home. I don't think this happens, going to happen maybe all year. This might be the only time. Urias, he pitched well his last start, but before that, he had not pitched well. It was the sticky stuff or something. He was not right. One thing I'm looking at here in this game is Urias has been ripped here. We talk about the Nats getting hit by lefties. Trey Turner 3 for 8. Guy just hit for the cycle. Ryan Zimmerman 5 for 6. Mercer 3 for 7. Castro 3 for 5. And then Max Scherzer's kind of held the Dodgers down, except a few guys. Max Muncy 4 for 14. Another guy who's really hot right now with a homer. And Justin Turner, Jack of the Day right here, 4 for 12. 3 home runs off Max Scherzer. But I got to think the value is with the Nats. And I think I'm just going to stick to it first 5 with Scherzer. Just keep it to him. But yeah, the Nats are hitting the ball lately. Of course, Schwarber, you can't go wrong with him. So yeah, give me the Nats here. Give me the home dog.
All right, liking the home dog here with Washington. We've got the battle of the tri-state here, New York battle, New York Mets, New York Yankees. The Subway Series. There we go. That's what I was trying to remember the name of it. There it is. New York minus 150 right now. Home favorites in this one. Total 8.5 across the board. I ain't laying a price with this Yankees team at the moment. Not in any way, shape, or form. Montgomery and his 4.06 ERA. Nothing to write home about by any stretch of the imagination. On the flip side, you've got Walker, who I like the way he's pitched this year. 6-3. 2.38 ERA. The one minor concern is you do have some Yankee hitters that have done some damage, had some success against Taijuan Walker in the past. But nevertheless,
your mic's on, show.
It's not a whole. Yeah, show. What are you doing?
Your mic's on.
Cough. There you go.
Yeah, just hit your mic, brother. Thanks.
That's funny. I would only look at the Mets here at a plus price in this one. Look, I know Walker's got some sketchy numbers against the Yankees in the past, but look, Yankees are just finding ways to lose games. They can't even rely on their bullpen anymore. Not only is their lineup sketchy and suspect, and Montgomery's been up and down, but they can't even rely on the bullpen anymore after what we saw earlier this week against the Angels, and that's supposed to be the strength of the team. So I've been leaning a little bit to the Mets here. I'm lukewarm on it because of the way Walker's numbers line up against this team, but he's been in good form. He's been good this year. I'll have a small bet here. Mets at a plus price. Probably another first 5 and full game split here on the Metropolitans. What do you think here, Conor? Subway Series.
Yeah, Subway Series here. I just don't like Montgomery that much here. The Mets haven't hit him really well. The Mets can't hit much anything. They got a couple solo homers yesterday. I'm Walker. I like Walker. He's pitched well. Some of these guys got good numbers. You mentioned the Yankees, LeMahieu, a few others do. But I like the plus price of them. Maybe a little shot with the Mets. It wasn't my favorite look. And, if there wasn't so many overs going on, I think this maybe could be an under game. The Yankees, I know, have hit the ball better a little bit lately, but I lean towards the full game under 9 in this one.
This one definitely interesting to the under. By the way, Yankees have kind of at times trended that way. The Mets definitely have been trending that way for the better part of the last several weeks. We got Milwaukee and Pittsburgh, Adrian Hauser and JT Brubaker, the pitching matchup here. Milwaukee actually opened pretty significant road favorites, and now all kinds of Pittsburgh money coming into this today, leading into this game, and now they're basically minus 120 to minus 130 here. The Brewers as road favorites, 7.5 the total in this game. The Pirates are another one of those many teams where, if you're going to back them, take a chance with them at home. They just cannot win on the road, but they're back home after a dreadful end of their road trip against the Colorado Rockies, who seemingly can't lose at home anymore these days. Pittsburgh lost to them and got swept by them in that series. They'll try to regroup now at home. Brubaker's been, serviceable, I guess you could say, 3.82 ERA. I'm not a big fan of Hauser, 4.16 ERA coming into this start. We saw an over last night with these two teams. I would lean that way here a little bit. Brewers are hitting a bit more, and I think the Pirates back home could do a little bit more damage here against Adrian Hauser. Again, his ERA is nothing to write home about, above 4. I like the way a couple of Brian Reynolds is hitting decently right now. Polanco's healthy again for the Pirates. Adam Frazier at the top of the lineup's been decent. And Brian Hayes has been fantastic. He's their best player by far. He's going to have a nice career, Brian Hayes. I like the way he's going right now. I would, again, now with the price coming down, I think a lot of the value is out of Pittsburgh right now. There is probably value on Milwaukee at this line, but I don't want to lay a price with Hauser on the road, even though Milwaukee is the better team. So probably for me, if anything, I would just stick to the over here, 7.5. What do you think here, Conor, Mac, Brewers, Pirates?
Yeah, if you can get a 7.5, I think this could be maybe a sneaky over. I don't know when the Brewers, I know they've hit the ball a lot better lately, but I don't think that offense is very good here. But at 49-33, I can't believe their record. I mean, I can't believe the Brewers are, 15 games or more over 500 right now. The one guy I like, and obviously people, saw it last night and bet on this morning, is Brubaker at home. He's the Pirates' best pitcher to me. He's a guy I want to back. But you're right, the value's kind of gotten sucked out of it here, down to just about plus 100, 105. Yeah, and Hauser, over 4 ERA. I don't trust him. The Pirates have hit him pretty well. You just mentioned some of the guys. Kevin Newman, 3 for 11 with a homer. Reynolds, 3 for 10 with a homer. Polanco, Frazier, 4 for 13. So there's some guys that have hit Hauser. So yeah, if you like the Pirates, maybe take him first 5. Hauser's been hit hard. I don't trust him, especially on the road.
All right, next up, we've got the Toronto Blue Jays and Tampa Bay Rays. In this one, we've got Luis Patino on the mound for the Rays, Alek Manoah for the Jays. We've got the Blue Jays minus 120 home favorites, total 10 across the board in this game. You look at this game, the one thing that stands out definitely is chance of rain, 40%. So we'll have to wait and see. Does this game get off the ground tonight in Buffalo between the Rays and the Blue Jays? This is a huge series for the Blue Jays, who, of course, are trailing, I think, by like 5.5 games, trailing the Rays in the almost said AFC East, football on the brain, AL East, going into this game tonight with the Rays and the Jays. Manoah's good. He's going to be good. I have not really much doubt about that, but the home run ball's kind of been a victim. He's been victimized a little bit by that. He's been giving up some home runs in the last few starts. That's a worry in this ballpark. Patino has sort of had some more issues as of late as well. He's been inconsistent, I guess, if you will, in the starting role. And I think when you look at these two teams and how they have hit against righties here, see, I was looking at the over a little bit in this game, but the total was 9.5, and it's already moved up to 10. Plus, there could be some rain in the forecast, so that might calm my enthusiasm a little bit for backing the over here in this game. It was my lean initially. I was looking at the Jays a little bit as well, but minus 120 against a Tampa Bay team. Let's be honest, they're still the superior group, even though I think I favor Manoah a little bit. So the leans are Toronto, the leans are the over, but I'm just lukewarm on those. And the other thing that might keep me off is, again, we're talking about potential for rain tonight in Buffalo, especially with that over. You know how rain games can affect overs. If it's delayed and starts 2 hours late, guess what? Nobody has patience. Nobody has the umpires want to get the game done. And as a result, it really hurts when you have an over with a game that starts late due to rain. So definitely keep an eye on that forecast. What do you think here, Conor, Mac, with the Rays and Jays?
Yeah, Manoah's Encino. I wanted to shout out Sharpie's on Manoah's prop. His K prop over 5.5 unit on it. The Rays, yeah, they strike out a lot. And yeah, Manoah, maybe these few teams, obviously there's a few teams still left. They haven't seen him. So a team like the Rays that strike out a bunch, that'd be a good play. Follow my guy Sharpie. He'll be on tomorrow. Alex Manoah, I like him here a little bit. The Jays just get me. I have a feeling they're going to lose a few. Then they're going to go on a run. They can hit a ton. And I think the Rays are already showing signs of kind of skidding here, falling back. Yeah. Just a game I didn't want any part of. I like that K prop. Sharpie mentioned a little bit. And maybe the Jays. If you really like the Blue Jays, maybe this is the day you take them run line if you really think the sticks are going to come out. But the rain's there. I looked at the first 5, under 5.5. It's minus 120, and these bats just can go off at any time, so I kind of stayed off it there as well.
All right, we've got Houston Astros, Cleveland Indians, Lance McCullers, and Sam Hentges on the mound here. Houston -1, pretty much minus 190 upwards in that price range. Actually, that's actually come back down a little bit, believe it or not, minus 170 to minus 180. The total 9 in this one. This is a Astros, kind of like last night. I took the Astros team total over. I took the full game over against Cleveland, thinking that they could do most of the damage, and they sure did. They got that lineup back on track. I can't explain how they struggled so much to hit against Baltimore at home earlier this week, but they did. However, you just got to stick with this lineup. You know that they're as good as any lineup in baseball. You knew they were going to get back on track at some point, and they had the pitcher and Giancarlo Mejia to get back on track against. Not very good. And Houston certainly did damage against him last night. They should do damage here. Sam Hentges has been roughed up. He was pathetic in his last start against the Minnesota Twins. It's bad when Jay Happ is out pitching you. And that's exactly what happened.
That was rough
for Hentges against the Twins. I think he gets raked here in this game. I mean, this is one of those, and Sharpie's liking the team. I'm already on the team total over 5.5 here, once again on the Astros. You could even go a step further with that first 5. With the Astros team total over 2.5 first 5. You could do that as well. I'm on the full game team total. I'm on the over for the full game. I'm actually on the Astros run line as well, minus 1.5 at minus 120. I mean, this should be a woodshed beatdown like last night. I mean, McCullers has actually been pretty good for the Houston Astros.
He's been really good.
Sure how much success Cleveland's going to have. So this is Houston run line, Houston team total over. We're going to the balls to the wall here tonight with the Houston Astros. So hopefully it's not 5-3 Cleveland when it's all said and done. What do you think here, Steve Matt?
I know that seems just my freaking look. I like the plus money. Remember I tell you I don't like taking too many of these over 5.5s with the Astros, but I got plus 110 right here, over 5.5. I think it's value. And Hentges, this guy, I saw that last start because obviously I was on him plus 130 first 5 last week against Happ, and he just got tattooed. The Astros, who hit lefties well, should hit this guy. And McCullers been well all year. Been really, really good. Yeah, you could look at Astros maybe half a run. You're getting a little bit of a discount here. The Indians have hit lately. So, yeah, even the total over 9 could maybe get there. McCullers, I think he might be due for maybe an outing where he gets rocked around a little bit. He's had a really good year so far where he hasn't got hit hard. So maybe the full game over as well.
Yeah, by the way, Houston 7-1 in McCullers' last 8 starts. So pretty impressive stuff. They've just been winning consistently with them on the mound. So I like that run line. I like the team total over. If you want to go a step further, first 5 team total on the Astros, that's probably a good way to go as well. Yeah, watch 10-3 Cleveland. Yeah, 17-3 Cleveland or something. Because that can happen. That's baseball. It's one of those games where Houston loses.
It's happened to me too much.
Yeah, and gets held to 2 or 3 runs tonight. You just shrug your shoulders and say that's baseball. I mean, all the numbers are pointing toward Houston, and you can only bet what the numbers are pointing you in the direction of betting. And in this game, they're pointing you in the direction of betting Houston because they should absolutely mash this bad, struggling lefty. Which is something that they've been able to do consistently this year, is hit the ball very well against lefties. So hopefully that's the case again tonight. Chicago White Sox, Detroit Tigers, Lance Lynn, the Bulldog, Casey Mize for the Tigers. White Sox in that minus 150 range as road favorites, total 8.5 across the board. The total's getting hit up because of the fact there's significant wind blowing out tonight in Detroit at Comerica Park. So make sure you're aware of that. He's kind of been not quite as sharp lately, the last couple, Lance Lynn, for the Chicago White Sox. I'm wondering if it's, fatigue, middle of the season, the innings adding up a little bit, but whatever. He has not been quite as crisp, and I'm kind of leaning again to Casey Mize as a first 5 underdog here. I've been on this a lot. Detroit first 5 innings with Casey Mize on the mound, and he's rewarded me, not every time, but more often than not, I've been on Detroit with Casey Mize on the mound, and I've been rewarded for it. So he's pitching well still for this Tigers team. I know the White Sox sort of righted the ship late in that series against Minnesota, but I don't know. Lynn's kind of trending slightly downward. Not alarming like he's been lit up or anything, but definitely not quite as, efficient and effective as he was earlier this season. I like Mize, this young kid. He is one of the better arms that this Tigers team had. So I am leaning Tigers here. First 5 and full game split as a home underdog here against the White Sox. So I'd say one thing about Detroit, they will battle. Scrappy team. We'll take a shot with them here tonight. What do you think, Conor Mac, White Sox, Tigers?
Yeah, I looked at this a whole bunch of ways. I thought maybe to back Mize, like he talked about, like he's been a little bit more profitable for me too, like you, as a home dog. Lance Lynn has been a little bit shaky his last few starts, but he's the bulldog. I still gotta give it. The White Sox played better lately. I thought right away before looking at, the weather and stuff, the wind's blowing out 10 miles an hour. I thought this could be a sneaky first 5 under 4.5, but maybe this could be a sneaky over. Both teams, White Sox are hitting again last few games, and the Tigers are back to an over team, lately. So this could be a sneaky over 8.5. But yeah, I lean Tigers. I haven't bet it. I talked about it last night, but I'd be on Casey Mize maybe here with a little plus price at home.
Definitely. And yeah, the total 8 to 8.5, the wind blowing out. That's definitely a very, very sharp move on the, we'll see if it's sharp, could be 2-1 tonight. You never know. It won't be that sharp if that's the case. Nevertheless,
good numbers too. Moncada just says, Moncada's 3 for 9 with a homer, but both pitchers have pretty good numbers against the team, both teams.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes this an even more interesting that the total was 8 and now it's 8.5 with juice right now. So there's a big move toward this over tonight with these two teams. Cubs and Reds. Alec Mills, sunny yesterday, my life. Cincinnati minus 160, home minus 150 to minus 160. The total 9.5 here in this one. Sonny Gray's been solid for the Reds this year, 3.42 ERA. Kind of tough luck in some of those starts where, bullpen has had issues. They didn't get the run support because his record should be better than it is for a guy with a 3.42 ERA. We'll see how he fares here tonight against this Cubs team that offensively it's still very, very shaky and erratic and inconsistent. You see what the Cubs did in the final game against Milwaukee. They got 7 runs early against that Ashby kid who was just not ready to pitch that day. And what did they do after that? Yeah. Nothing, essentially. They got shut down the rest of the game by the Brewers bullpen. So there's a very sketchy Cubs lineup. It wouldn't surprise me to see Gray pitch well. I do think Cincinnati can rake against Alec Mills. This guy is just not very good, in my opinion. He's been just basically skating by the skin of his teeth in a lot of these starts. I think he's going to get hit a little bit by this Reds team. A nice confidence builder, snapped a little losing streak, beating the Padres last night, the Reds. I'm not going to worry about the Cubs lineup or Gray. Take them out of the equation. I've got the Reds here, team total over 5.5. I was disappointed it wasn't 4.5, that it was 5.5, but it's at least 5.5 with a plus price here. I think they can get to 6 here against this Alec Mills guy. I mean, he's nothing special at all. And I think they're screaming out for him to get absolutely hammered. Like the Dodgers could have hammered him and they stranded like 1 million base runners in that game. If the Reds don't do that tonight, they can get to 6. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, there's my guy JT. He likes the over 9.5. I think that's a good look. Wind's blowing out to right, 9 to 10 miles an hour. 75 degrees, no rain. The Reds are a lot better home team than on the road. They hit way better at home. Not only that over, I know I wanted a 4.5 too, the Reds team total. I think that's a solid look. But you're getting the 5.5, like you said, plus 115. I'd even go run light. It's tough to say. Maybe go first 5, half a run. Because every time I go full game Reds run line, you get it at a good price. I think of their bullpen, which has been a little bit better lately, but still scares the shit out of me. So I'd go Reds, maybe first 5, half a run. You can look at the team total, and like my guy JT, you could go full game over here.
Yeah, Reds up first 5 minus half a run. That's a good one too. I like that one. Minus half a run in the first 5 for the Reds. Like, look at Gray against these Cubs. Happ, Rizzo, Bryant, Contreras, Hayward, Baez. They've done absolutely nothing here for this Cubs team against Sonny Gray in the
Castellanos,
past. So,
Jack of the day, 4-7.
Yes.
Home run. Real quick, sorry. A couple guys, hit Mills hard. So we'll let you know later, but yeah.
Yeah, one of those Greek stallions, definitely. Nick Castellanos. That's what I call all the guys that have like a Greek name or Greek descent. Yeah, Greek stallions for some reason. I got it from my dad. He always called them freaking Greek stallions. There's the Greek stallion there, getting the job done. All right, next up we've got Miami and Atlanta. Pablo Lopez, Drew Smiley on the mound here. Atlanta, slight home favorites here. A lot of Miami money, total 8.5. I don't know. I agree with maybe taking Miami where the price was initially. But now with the line having come down significantly, now where Atlanta's probably the value now at the current price, like they're hitting again. They've crushed the ball the last few games. Pablo Lopez is always a little bit more untrustworthy on the road. That's another concern I have. And let's give Drew Smiley some love. You know, we didn't like him at all early in the season, but last 3 starts, he's been really good, you know, for the Atlanta Braves. So definitely turning things around. I agree. If you got in on Miami early, or earlier than now, I agree with that. I think there was some value on Lopez and the Marlins, but now it's been such a huge steam move now on this Marlins side that, you know, I don't want to bet this much of the worst of the number, worst of the price with Miami. So I'd leaned Miami initially. I was late to the party, and I'm not going to bet it at a deflated price now. So it's a pass for me. Connor, what do you think? Miami, Atlanta?
Yeah, we always talk about Lopez on the road. He's been a little bit better this year, and obviously his record 4-4, the 2-something ERA. He just faced these Braves a couple weeks ago, June 13th, 3 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs. I don't like that. Braves have kind of come to life a little bit. Obviously, they scored 20 freaking runs the other day. Maybe look at the team total, but it's 4.5 at plus 105. But I don't know if Lopez is on. That's a bet that I've took this year that's gotten burned. But yeah, I think the value's gone. I would have liked the Marlins at plus 120, 125, but now here just kind of a pick 'em. It's a pass for me.
Yeah, Miami isn't hitting. That's right, David Sharp. You're right. That's the problem too. Not a lineup I can trust game in and game out. Like like Atlanta was up in the minus 150 to 60 range earlier. Now they're minus 115. I mean, that's a huge amount of a huge move that's basically been made here on the Miami Marlins. So we'll see if all of that money is correct. Minnesota, Kansas City, J Happ, Brady Singer. You've got the Royals here, slight favorites here at Kauffman Stadium at home, minus 110, minus 115, total 10 across the board. You know damn well if it's a Happ start, I'm not betting the under. It's over for me here in this game. It's always a question. Are the Royals capable of even hitting bad pitchers or pitchers that are struggling like J Happ? Because, you know, there's been a couple pitchers right now for this that they've faced lately, and they haven't hit that are not very good, and they've managed to hit them. Or manage not to hit them, I should say. So that does concern me a little bit going into this start here. Brady Singer's only got a 4.2 ERA at home, which is nothing to write home about. His last start was a struggle, 3 runs, 4 hits, 5 innings against the Texas Rangers. And we'll see how he fares here against the Twins. Coming in, he's actually pitched decently against the Twins. His last start against them wasn't bad. 2 runs, 8 hits in 5.2 innings. But I like the way the Twins lineup is going right now. You talk about teams that are starting to get their mojo back offensively. If it takes Josh Donaldson flapping his gums about other players on opposing teams to get him going, it's working because this guy's swinging a red hot bat right now for the Minnesota Twins. Josh Donaldson getting himself revved up and it's paying off because they're hitting the ball really well right now. He is as well. You look at the Twins, 5, 3, 6, 8, 8 runs in their last 5 games. I think we get runs here. I think they could do enough against Singer and that bad Royals bullpen. Don't forget, that's an atrocious bullpen right now. And on the flip side, J Happ, I do not trust him against the Royals. You look at this J Happ run. What is it now in terms of overs? We're looking at 11 straight. How about that? 11-0 to the over in his last 11 starts for J Happ. So I'm just keeping on rolling with that trend. I was on it Sunday. It was the best bet on Sunday for me on the show. Minnesota, Cleveland, over 9.5, and it got there, that 8-2 game. So back to the well, over the total with J Happ. And I think Singer's kind of vulnerable here to get hit by this hot hitting Twins lineup as well. So I think we'll see runs. What do you think, C-Mac?
Yeah, hot hitting Twins. And they've hit him 3 for 8. Kepler, Sano's got a homer. Polanco 3 for 12. A lot of good numbers. And these Royals, talk about our guy Hapless. I mean, he's gotten rocked by these Royals who have had trouble scoring runs. Man, it can be a struggle sometimes. But Salvador Perez, 9 for 23, 4 home runs, definitely jack of the day. Hanser Alberto, 8 for 22, 2 home runs. Whit Merrifield, only 4 for 19, a lot of homers here. The Royals here off Hap. So I'm with you. You could go team totals. Both of these teams, they're like minus 120, 130. But I think you lean to the over 9.5. There's some 10s now out there, minus 105. You keep going over. Give me the over here.
Sal Perez, you have to bet that 4 home runs against Jay. Even Whit Merrifield too as well, but especially Sal Perez because he's got the average. Whit Merrifield doesn't have the average against Hap, but Perez does. 391 and 4 home runs. 4 of his 9 hits against Hap have been home runs. So Sal Perez, there we go, home run. That's probably my favorite Jack of the Day look today. St. Louis and Colorado, Johan Oviedo, Chichi Gonzalez. You better come home, Chichi Gonzalez. He is home at Coors Field. Even money here. This price pretty much 12.5 the total in this one. Man, this should go over that. Even it's a high total, but I could see this could be one of those wild nights. 8-6, 9-6 type of games. I don't trust either guy. Johan Oviedo on the road is just not very good, not very trustworthy. 5.23 ERA. He got rocked at home even in his last start against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Pirates, not exactly the big red machine from the 70s, or the Bronx Bombers by any stretch. And he struggled against them at Busch Stadium. So that doesn't give me a boatload of confidence that Johan Oviedo is strolling into Colorado tonight and pitching well for this Cardinals team. Chichi, though, I got my issues with him. That being said, throw out the starting pitchers. Colorado's on fire at home right now. I'm also going to take, I like the over, but I'm also going to take the Rockies first 5 in full game. I actually trust Chichi at times actually at home he's had a couple of decent starts at home. That's more than I can say for Oviedo. St. Louis is not a team I trust is on the road. And I've been riding this Colorado team. I've been on Colorado like all week here at Coors Field. They are almost unbeatable at home. A thrilling win for them last night in the game against the Cardinals. They walked it off in the 9th inning with a 3-run home run. I like the way this team's playing. Like this team, they can't win worth a lick on the road, but they're almost unbeatable here at home. It's the damnedest thing with this Colorado Rockies team. So I'm on Colorado here, first 5 full game, and also going to take a shot with the over, even at that high number of 12.5. What do you think, C-Mac?
Yeah, you guys would take the Rockies with Chichi, but I'd rather go with them than Oviedo on the road. This is a guy I can't even back at home. He's been horrible on the road. Yeah, I think we see some runs tonight. It's 12.5, but it could be a wild one. The games have been going under in Colorado lately. Maybe it's due for a 10-6 or even higher scoring game. Chichi pitched well his second time out against the Brewers last time out. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. But before that, he gave it up his normal 6 runs, 4 runs. That seems like what it could be in this one. See, I lean over, but yeah, the Rockies. I'd rather be with the Rockies. This team plays well at home. Give me them. It's just no Oviedo for me.
By the way, that was Pat Boone who did that Speedy Gonzalez song. So that's like from the early 60s, man. I'm telling you, my musical karaoke interludes on this show, they span all decades, essentially. Yeah, you can get a little rap, you can get a little 90s, a little 80s, a little 70s, a little 60s. Yeah, I mean, we go all over the place with the musical interlude references here on this show. Baltimore Orioles, LA Angels, Keegan Aiken, Griffin Canning on the mound here in this one. You've got the LA Angels minus 180 home favorites, or in this one 10 total. Actually 9.5 is the prevailing number pretty much now with the total. Angels big home favorites. Aiken got rocked in his last start. The Angels are, speaking of getting rocked, the Angels are mashing lefties, and they are being merciless on lefty pitching right now. So this is the best I've seen the Angels hit the ball against lefty pitching for a season. I mean, they are torching left-handed pitching, and this isn't even all that good of a left-handed pitcher in Keegan Aiken. So I think they do damage. But I like what I'm seeing, Conor, out of this Orioles lineup. They're hitting right now. Mullins and Mountcastle, Santander. It's a good lineup at the moment. Mancini. They're having success swinging the bats right now, this Orioles team. Just ask Houston. They scored 6, 7, 8 runs in many of those games in that series. They should hit Griffin Canning. He's nothing to write home about. He's had a struggle of a season so far. So it's a pretty clear as day over 9.5 bet for me in this game. Baltimore, LA Angels. We're going over the total once again. Conor, what do you think?
Yeah, this is the one I looked at right away and just think, how can you not think over? The Angels team total was over 5.5, so they got that set right. It's plus 110. But I think the Orioles could score off Canning. Yeah, I mean he's 5-4, but almost a 5 ERA. He's a little bit better at home. He could give you 5 innings in a few, but the Orioles, they've been hitting. And who knows? You go from a series there in Houston, they could, be cold. But I'd rather take what they've been doing lately. The Orioles swinging the sticks, all those Mullins, all those guys, Mancini. And yeah, I'd look towards, instead of a team total, I just go full game over 9.5. Two bad bullpens. And if you don't get it early, maybe in game this one. If this is maybe a little bit lower scoring, Orioles have a horrible bullpen, so do the Angels. Maybe a live bet if you're getting a 7.5, 6.5 over.
Yeah, Abel Alvarez. Yeah, that's from 1970. That one, or right around there. The Archie, Sugar, Sugar. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's great music back then. Seriously, I mean those eras were better than what's out there today. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even. Those are the 4 decades of musical brilliance, in my opinion. Brilliance compared to what you hear today. Boston, Oakland. Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound for the Boston Red Sox. Frankie Montas for Oakland. Boston, slight road favorites here. 8.5 the total in this one. I'm broken record, but I'm back on the over again here in this game. Oakland mashes lefties. Pretty much everybody this season mashes Eduardo Rodriguez and his 5.83 ERA on the season. So I think Oakland should do some damage here against him. They hit lefties. They've hit lefties among the best in Major League Baseball against southpaws this year. And on the flip side, Frankie Montas, he's been up and down. I don't trust him. And Boston's mashing right now. Boston's offense is going. JD Martinez, Verdugo, Bogarts, Rafael Devers. This guy could be the hottest of the bunch in the Red Sox lineup right now. He has been crushing the ball of late. I think this is all bad news for Montas, and there's damage for some of these guys against Montas. JD Martinez, Rafael Devers has had success against him. Marwin Gonzalez has had success against him. And even on the Oakland side, Chapman, Andrus, Pinder, Tony Kemp, Sean Murphy, the catcher. A lot of guys have had success against Eduardo. And again, Oakland mashes lefties. So give me over 8.5 here. I think we'll see runs in the Bay Area. What do you think, Conor?
Yeah, I was kind of scratching my head going through this one. All the numbers you just read off. The wind's blowing out, 10 mile an hour, dead straight. And these two pitchers are on the mound. So I'm going, what the hell is going? Why is there an 8.5? This seems like should be a 9.5 maybe, or a 10. So I'm with you. I think the value's with the over here. Montas, he doesn't have the sticky stuff. He seems to be lost without it. And I don't trust Rodriguez. I mean, he's pitched a little bit better lately, but Red Sox have just been raking. And the A's can hit lefties well. As you said, the numbers are really good. So, yeah, you could go team total, but I think that 8.5 at -105, just take the over.
All right, San Francisco, Arizona. We got Alex Wood, Zach Gallen, the pitching matchup here. San Francisco, -140, -145, road favorites in the desert, 8.5 the total in this game. Alex Wood not necessarily been quite as sharp in his last few starts. He's sort of had been on a downward trajectory. And Zach Gallen trying to figure it out for Arizona, 3.69 ERA. I think you're seeing some improvement. And look, San Francisco, can we say it? Maybe their first little skid of this entire season that they're in right now. They lost to the Dodgers 2 in a row. They lost the opener to Arizona last night as Merrill Kelly. We talked about him. He's improving. He pitches better at home. And he got the better of Johnny Cueto last night. I'm not rushing to lay a price with San Fran right now. They're not hitting. The bats have gone cold a little bit. And they're in a bit of a funk at the moment. So it's not the time. But when a team's had the great season and then they hit that first rough patch of the year, like San Fran might be in right now, I'm not rushing to bet them until they get out of it. So I'm not involved in the side. Maybe a lean to Gallen in the first 5 here in this one with Arizona, kind of like last night. Nothing on the total either, because again, the Giants not hitting right now. So maybe you could get a first 5 under as well in this one. What do you think, Conor Mack, with Giants and Diamondbacks?
Yeah, maybe. I thought about that. We'll see with Gallen if he can pitch a little bit better. He's usually better at home. Both pitchers have pretty good numbers. Wood against the D-backs and Gallen against the Giants. Yeah, the Giants might be on one of these skids here. I think they win today. but there's tons of other games. So this one I passed on. The D-backs hit lefties pretty well. I looked at, if you want to take the D-backs team total, it's over 3.5. You get around minus 115, 120. They hit him well, and Wood's been up and down. A few guys have hit him well. Nick Ahmed's got a couple homers. Peralta. So yeah, that was my only look here.
All right, final game: Texas Rangers, Seattle Mariners. Kyle Gibson, Logan Gilbert pitching matchup in this one. Seattle minus 120, home favorites, 8 the total in this one. Look, we've seen a lot of runs the last few days. There's no question about that. So you really got to be picky when it comes to under spots and under matchups. But this might be one here with Texas and Seattle. First 5 under makes sense to me. Kyle Gibson's been excellent. I mean, just one consistent start and solid start after another for this team, for this Texas team. And on the flip side, Logan Gilbert's pitched better lately for the Mariners. He's got a lot of upside. They're high on him. He got off to a little bit of a rough start, but he's been pitching a little bit better lately. I'm not involved in the side here, but lean maybe slightly to Texas first 5s because the Gibson first 5s have been pretty good this year. But the first 5 under, this would be one I'd be looking at. First 5 under 4 in this one. What do you think here, Conor Mac? Texas, Seattle.
Yeah, this one could be a first 5 under. I think Gilbert, this is his first time facing the Rangers. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check.
Yeah, I would think so. Even though they're a division team, I don't think he's faced them yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's faced them yet. And Gibson, I mean, still 6-0, 2 ERA flat, 74 strikeouts. This guy's been nothing but good. Rangers won yesterday, big win. Joey Gallo's been tearing it up for me. Jack of the day. Stick with him until he gets cold and strikes out 3 or 4 times a game. Maybe a look on Gibson. Gilbert's pitched well for me. He's done well ever since his first couple bad starts. He's pitched well. The Mariners playing a bit better lately, but you got to lay a little price with them. Maybe look to that first 5 under or the full game under 8. This is kind of an under that I liked here.
Yeah. I mean, David Sharp saying, yeah, he's been great, but he's been rocked every time he goes up against a team with good numbers against him in the past. That's true. I remember there was one start he got roughed up. I think I'm trying to think who it was, but I think maybe the White Sox. But he had rough numbers against them in the past, and they roughed him up pretty good. So something to keep an eye on.
The Royals. Are you talking Gibson?
Royal. It could have been. Yeah, it could have been.
It was the Royals.
Yeah.
It was the Royals.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it was one of those AL Central teams from his Twins days. So there you go. That was the Royals, definitely. And yeah, Mariners 6-0. I like Gilbert. Gilbert's been bet on for me, so that's why I would look first 5 under in this one, if anything. Gibson still. He's been so good. I don't want to go against him, but I understand the point about, sometimes teams that have had the success against him in the past could have that success tonight. Will Seattle do that? And look, Seattle hit pretty well against Toronto. I'll give them that. They had a nice series that played against the Blue Jays. That 2 of 3 they took from Toronto in that series, and the offense was pretty good in that series. We'll see if they can keep it going tonight.
Yeah.
In this one.
Look for a 4.5 too, if you can. There's a lot of 4s at even money. If you want a first 5 under, get a 4.5.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Good stuff, Conor Mac. That is the breakdown of the Friday MLB card for today. We will get to actually, you know what? We missed the 7th inning stretch today, so we'll do the chat rundown right now. Thank everyone joining us. DC, Abel Alvarez, David Sharp, Raymond Reddington. By the way, David Sharp with us tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Saturday edition of the MLB closing time. So join us for that. Cash Action Bets, MDR, Robert Sherry, Gas Station Sushi, Uncool 22, Hansel Matos, Outstanding Cheshire Cat, MDR, Talk Sports with JT, Big Show Picks. We've got let's see, who else have we got? Brian Watson, Sterling Gentry. We thank everybody for joining us on this Friday. We'll get to best bets and Jack of the Day in just a second. But first, before we do that, we will pause for messages right now from both Manscaped and Southtown 101. right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, make sure you stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, and karaoke as well, especially on the weekends. It's a great spot to be. Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports, 20% off your purchase, including the new and improved Lawnmower 4.0. So make sure you check them out. Manscaped. Use the promo code Pub Sports to get 20% off your purchase with them. And of course, mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. NBA and NHL playoffs winding down, MLB daily. We've got football right around the corner. No better time than now. Sign up for an account at mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. So check out mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Pub Sports. All right, it is time for Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
Keeping it simple, Ohtani, I'm obviously interested in him hitting a home run against Aiken the way he's raking right now. Schwarber, you can go back to the well with him against Urias. I don't mind that one. The guys that are red hot feeling it right now. You could even go Vlad Jr. for the Blue Jays as well. I voted in as an all-star starter last night. Altuve to hit a home run against Sam Hentges is worth a look, in my opinion. The big one is Sal Perez for me against Jay Happ. His numbers are incredible against Happ. So there's the home run props that I'm looking at. Connor, how about you?
Justin Turner off Max Scherzer. He's 4 for 12. Definitely Jack of the Day. And you can't go wrong with some of these guys. I was on JD Martinez the last couple of days, Joey Gallo, Schwarber. How can you go? But just a few others. We talked about Sal Perez, a couple of the Royals you could look at, Alberto as well. And that was about it for Jack of the Day. Acuna, I'm going to wait. That was it for Jack of the Day for me.
All right. Keep an eye on Nolan Arenado, says Artemi in the chat. Artemi Panarin? Oh, really? I've taken time out of his hockey offseason with the Rangers to join us here on the Closing Time show. He did it against him earlier this year. Very true. So keep an eye on Arenado against Marquez on Sunday in the Rockies-Cardinals series. Maybe you look at him to
Reds
hit a
too.
home run.
Maybe some Reds.
Yes, definitely.
Castellanos. I forgot.
By the way,
Castellanos.
I'm no soccer expert, but I'm on the over in this extra time because there's the Switzerland's one-man shorts. So I figure, it's going to be wide open. Spain's going to try to press for that goal. They have a chance to. They've got the extra man on the pitch. I'm trying to use these soccer terms to effectively. But I would look over in the extra time here because I think, Spain's going to press, take advantage of the fact that Switzerland's one man down. So there you go. All right, best bet, Connor Mack. What do you think here for best bet tonight?
I kind of had two, but I like the Nats as home dogs first 5. But I'm gonna go. Their team total's a little high, but it's plus money. But give me the Reds first 5. You can get it right around -115. Bring down this juice. It got me a few days ago, but I'm a little scared of the bullpen instead of going full game. So give me the Reds first 5 innings, half a run, -115.
All right, Cincinnati, first 5 innings, minus a half a run, -115, best bet for Connor Mack. My best bet is I like these two totals, and I like them both so much and equally. I'm going to give you 2 best bets today. Let's see if we can get that. I'm feeling good. The best bets are starting to pick it up now for me in baseball, and NBA best bets were good this week with those player props. Last night, Brook Lopez, geez, that's about as easy as it'll ever get with a player prop. Holy shit, what a night for him. I'm going to go with 2 overs, and both of them in the late night hours. We're going to go Orioles Angels over 9.5. We're going to go Red Sox Athletics over 8.5 for my 2 best bets. So there you go. 2 for the price of nothing. It's free to watch this show. Baltimore LA Angels over 9.5, and Boston Oakland
2 for the price of nothing. I like that.
Exactly. Best bet for tonight in MLB action. See if we can go for the 2-0 sweep right here on the Closing Time Show. That will wrap up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll be back with you tomorrow on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. It'll be me, it'll be Connor Mack, and it'll be our special Saturday guest, David Sharpie, joining us as well. And we'll look at the Saturday MLB card. NBA Pub Hub will be back tomorrow as well at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. We'll get ready for Game 6 Eastern Conference Finals. Do or die for the Atlanta Hawks. For Conor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll talk to you again tomorrow on Saturday right here on the MLB Closing Time Show on Pub Sports Radio.